Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to solve this hack the box machine called Cozyhosting. So let's start enumerating at this stage and map. I think this is the target IP. Yes, this is the target IP. So we found that port 22 and 80 is open, so we need to targeted scan like 2280 serve like default script and version detection and so we found that port 22 open and the operating system looks to be Linux, Ubuntu Linux, and we found that did not follow redirect to HTTP Cozyhosting. So since our computer doesn't know what cozyhosting.htb is, it is failed to follow, so we need to add this. Then and this is cozyhosting.htb. So if we navigate this using this IP address, then we surely find Cozyhosting like this. It is best. Perfect. Best. So I'm going to use like bots command to subdomain buzzing like ff cozyhosting.htb setlist discovery DNS and subdomains top 1 million and it says like status 301 and site 178. This means the server is configured to each invalid subdomain and redirected to a default page. If we don't filter this out, we will miss the real results because they are buried in this garbage. So 178 file size. It doesn't show me like interesting stuff, so I think Cozyhosting. Oh, that's perfect, super best. So now I like to go to the directory enumeration, go buster, cozyhosting.atb, user share, word list, seg list, and discovery web content and command.txt. If it address no error. In the meantime, we can navigate to this website. home services, and by now redirects to this, and get started redirects to this, and login page navigates to this, looks to be Bootstrap website, and SD and SD. Invalid username or password error seen. Oh, so GoBuster says admin page error and index login. So the admin status 401 means unauthorized. It tells us the page exists but it's protected. This is likely our target. We need to find a way to bypass that lock. So error, this means might seem useless, but like maybe, but we can navigate this endpoint as well. For further investigation, I would also like to do, I think the comment was like, the comment was like GoBuster or GoBuster you Cozyhosting.atb user share set list discovery web content and wrapped medium directories and txt extension thread 50 and it is Cozyhosting. Cozyhosting. I think it finishes well. So while we are running the wrapped word list, like GoBuster comment with word list, we may need to identify the text stack here. So actually, like when we navigate this, we found, how can I say, not from this, there is like index endpoint here. We can go there. It's just like Whitelabel error page, and if you go Whitelabel, I'm okay with that. It looks like the programming language is Java, and Whitelabel error page, if you search this, it appears that it is related to it looks to be the default error page for a Spring Boot application. Spring Boot, and so this stack will be like Spring Boot with Java, so maybe we need to check the Spring Boot related vulnerability. So when you navigate this, so maybe we can find, if you navigate cd user share word list, and I think from set list discovery web, and at this stage there is like, oh wait, there should be programming. Oh, Java, Spring. Could there be Spring? Oh, there is like Spring Boot related file here. I think Actuator. Yes, there is also Actuator. So we can run this command potentially. Go buster diu web content. Oh, it should be shared. And checklist discovery web content and Spring Boot like this. It is also not Cozyhosting, Cozyhosting, sorry, Cozy. I can find some endpoints here. Maybe at this stage. I think this. Why? Sudo. That is interesting. So at this stage we can check these endpoints here. So but we can need to understand what Spring Boot Actuator vulnerability. We can check regarding this further. So Spring Boot Actuator is widely used for Java application observability, found in over 60% of cloud environments, but its exposure can lead to serious security risk when misconfigured. These misconfigurations can lead to exposure of sensitive data and credentials, and even enable remote code execution in certain versions of Spring Boot. So it looks to be related to possible like misconfiguration misconfiguration. This potentially impact including data exfiltration and RC exploitation. So given that you can access this endpoint, we can use this endpoint. So it's like we can turn on burp suit, and next start burp. So we would like to take all of these endpoints from this. So this proxy intercept on. So in Actuator, I think we opened this here already. So Actuator, need to enable. So I only need once. Take to repeater and off, and tab group, because I also like to check this should be all HTTP. So I can send like this. And second, I will send the endpoint this. I will send, I don't use HTTPS, send, and rename to this. I will also rename to just Actuator. Rename. I also will not use HTTPS sessions and home. Rename, send. So we can navigate this. It looks to be related to endpoints regarding Actuator, and this looks to be config source class path resource. This file looks to be related to maybe config file related. We found something interesting, so let's break down what these are. So this is session, so K Anderson looks to be the username. It tells us there is a valid username K Anderson currently logged into the system. We now have a valid target for brute forcing if we needed it. This is the JSON ID, and this is the golden ticket. As we discussed earlier, if we have this string, the server thinks we are K Anderson, and we don't need to know his password. We just become like him. So maybe we can use this to go to the admin, like we network, no storage, like this, and perfect. We can navigate to admin, and there is something interesting. Include host into automatic patching. But before we move into this, we would like to know what session hijacking is. So HTTP is stateless. This means the server has no memory. Every time you click a link, the server forgets who you are instantly. To fix this, when you log in, the server gives you a temporary ID card or cookie. For the next hour, you don't show your password. You just flash this ID card and the server lets you in. The server checks the card, not the person holding it. But by stealing the JSON ID from the Actuator leak, we essentially picked up the admin's key card off the floor. We didn't crack the lock, we just used their key. So maybe we can generate once again. Oh, there looks to be another JSession ID regarding the K Anderson user. So we can also assume that this JSession ID could be rotated for a couple of minutes. So we can test this, submit. It says like the host was not added, host key verification failed. Okay, then first assumption, we can use who am I comment here. It says invalid host name. So if we try to put a semicolon or a comment in the host field, the web application firewall might catch instantly. So it never gets reached the system shell. Then we can move to test. Who am I? Who am I? So it shows that comment not found error. This is not a web application error, but this is a system shell error. This proves two things. So we have successfully broken out of the web app and are talking directly to the Linux kernel. So maybe we can do like in and test, and like this maybe. Fail. Maybe we can just like use like cur plus is space in your encoding. Maybe you can create the reverse shell file and execute immediately, and we can navigate here and create sudo file rep.sh, and we were going to create the reverse shell file. sh I this. So go to this, and the reverse shell indicates that we need to listen, and there should be a red bar here, so we can Python like this. So it is that like we download this file and execute this file, and either go to our listener. Maybe we can try this. Before that, need to copy and paste. But it is great that it shows like this. Maybe at this stage we can use IFS, which is internal field separator. So to this to the web application, IFS is just a bunch of letters and symbols. It is not a space character. But to the Linux system, this indicates the space. So we can submit and check the listener. This is the listener, so perfect. We can now move into the app user. So we'd like to elevate the shell python 3 pty spawn and export term. Perfect. So we found cloud hosting jar file, which we assume that we found on the one of the endpoints here. So I think from beans we can find I'll just say jar cloud hosting. This looks related to security config or like configuration related, so maybe we can unzip this file. It says permission denied error. We can check the permission here. So it is like root user can write, but we are not root user, we are like app user, so we can specify this to the somewhere we can access. Replace it looks there could be so it looks like wait for me. RF limpias. Actually that was my second attempt, so there was like limpias that I wanted to transfer. So at this stage we can like grab some credential, current folder, and remove like remove the result that we don't want, and we can check this. It says like Spring data source password like this. Maybe we can check this application properties file folder after saving this. I think we can just like copy. It says like we are using Postgres, and I think session ID, session ID will be rotated every 5 minutes, and server address is 127.0.0.1. Cozyhosting. So this setting is like we can list this forces the application to listen only on localhost, so maybe we were not able to see this on the admap result, but we can go to Postgres using this information. PSQL host without host I think we cannot. Yes, connection to server on socket failed, fatal, and something like this. So when you run PSQL without specifying a host, Postgres assumes you want to connect via a Unix domain socket. So when you run PostgreSQL PSQL without any arguments, you are not actually using the internet or the network at all. You are using a socket. The socket file is usually like owned by root or Postgres, but we are the user app. We might not have even adequate permission to touch the file. Maybe we can try learning this command. Yes, it is like this. Looks to be like Postgres user or root user, but we are like app user. So we found that like peer authentication failed for user Postgres error, so we got rejected. So we need to specify the host, so it ignores the local file socket and instead use TCP IP and Postgres. I think the username was PostgreSQL. Maybe we can use this password again. I think just Postgres. Perfect. Maybe there could be some So we can list all server, like list all databases and connect to Cozyhosting, which looks related to our, you can say, users tables. You can find the interesting results like this. K. Anderson and admin. I think at this stage we want to navigate to admin. So hash ID and that one. I think we need to put this. Hashcat mode 3211. I think we need to crack this using 3200 hashcat mode. So we can do like, first of all, I think we need to rock you this file sudo conzip rock you text, and we can hashcat that mode. This is a dictionary attack, and I'm going to copy and paste and user share word list and rocku.txt. We found that this has been cracked, so we can find this is Manchester United. Okay, we can maybe we can at this stage check something further. Cat etc pass wd grab bash. Oh, there is also user called Josh. I think we can use this root user bin bash, so bin bash. Yes, I think we can use this password to SSH Josh Cozyhosting.htb. Yes, Manchester United. Perfect. So we can find the text like black bar here. And we can type sudo -l Manchester United. User Josh may run the following commands on localhost. So we can look further like this. So when you see a binary in sudo -l, we can navigate to GTFO beans. It is created list of Unix binaries, standard programs like text editors or network tools that can be used to bypass local security restrictions. So we'd like to, according to this, SSH it says so SSH, just SSH. Okay, maybe we can click this. This function can be performed by any unprivileged user, but we have sudo. This function is performed by the privileged user if executed via sudo, because the acquired privilege are not dropped. Maybe we can try using this. Who am I? Can't see the root. It's interesting. Maybe we can kit and we can sudo ssh, so perfect. So now we can analyze this command regarding the proxy command. This is the command that will get you the root shell on your OSCP exam when you have sudo write on SSH. So the proxy command option was designed for complex networks. It allows a sysadmin to say, before you connect to the target server, run this specific command to set up the network pipes. So this SSH executes this command immediately, like before the handshake, before the authentication. So because you ran sudo SSH, the SSH client starts as root. Therefore, any command it launched, including our proxy command, also runs as root. So we can also find like X like this, but the proxy command executes first. You hijack the flow of execution before SSH ever gets around to looking up X. So it doesn't matter for this root escalation. So we can find this like 012, which stands for like standard input, standard output, like error. So it looks like using this error pipe, we can use this pin sh, we can connect to pin sh shell perfectly, because like SSH leaves the standard error cable connected to your terminal. So if the proxy crashes, SSH wants you to see the error message. So error message stands for the tunnel, error tunnel. So basically it says like this. So it says like listen to the error stream for my keyboard commands. So regarding this, it says like print the text, output text to the error stream, so I can see this. So I hope this video helps you well and useful, and don't forget to subscribe if it's helpful, and thank you so much.